Hey, come on in. Welcome into the latest edition of First Take. Skip Bayless, Molly Karam holding things down in Bristol. Stephen A. is in the Bay Area. You all know why. Gentlemen, good day.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good. You guys look nice. I like these looks.
Thank you, Molly.
Yeah.
I just envy Mr. Smith getting to camp in maybe my favorite city in the world, where you are right now. Way to go.
Yeah, it's your favorite city in the world, not mine. If I had to pick a spot to be in California, trust me, it would be southern. It wouldn't be northern.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yes.
All of California.
You know, I must admit, I do love Southern California.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
sure you do.
Really? Oh, okay. Very interesting, Stephen A. Let's work.
Well, you know I do. You know I do.
Okay, let's get into it, guys. And we start with the King. LeBron asked yesterday about being the underdog against the Warriors. Here's what he had to say. Take a listen.
Not my concern. I don't get involved in all that underdog, overdog, whatever the case may be. It's stupidity. One thing for me is just how well I can get my team prepared mentally and physically to go out for battle, because it's going to be a tough test for us, and we know that. We're better built to start the finals than we were last year. It doesn't matter who it's against. I mean, that's not a headline. That's obvious.
All right, Skip, break it down for us. What's LeBron really trying to say here?
Stephen A. Smith, here's my 2 cents. My view from a distance of what I just heard from LeBron James and continue to hear from him. He is saying something I've never heard from LeBron James going into an NBA Finals. This obviously his 6th straight of those. To me, LeBron James is very publicly expressing supreme confidence in himself and his team, the team that's better built to face these Golden State Warriors. And he's doing so at the risk, maybe the extreme risk, of offending and motivating said Golden State Warriors, which just my 2 cents, I don't think that's very smart. You may disagree, but let me elaborate. LeBron James is now saying it is stupidity for the odds makers to favor a team that, as we all know, won a record 73 games, a team that we just witnessed come from 3-1 down to win the much more difficult Western Conference against, as we all know, an extremely dangerous and very talented Oklahoma City Thunder team. And we're talking about a team that clearly has the back-to-back MVP, the first ever unanimous MVP, and finally, a team that does have, for what it's worth, home court advantage in the NBA Finals. All those things, he's saying it's stupid to favor that team. I'm not sure it's stupidity, but again, the old LeBron would have said something like, you know, I can see why they would be favored, but I still like our chances. That would be the old LeBron. But the new LeBron is in full-on attack mode at Golden State. And he's basically saying that, as we all know, he said that Steph's unanimous MVP award was, by his definition, he was saying that he gets it. He conceded that Steph was the best player this year, statistically, but that maybe Steph wasn't most valuable to his team. And as you recall, a couple of weeks ago, I interpreted that LeBron was saying, hey, I'm sorry, I think I was more valuable to my team than Steph Curry was. Then he went in full-on attack mode on Steve Kerr by saying that Terry Stotts flat out deserved Coach of the Year over Steve Kerr. Wow. So that's 2 for 2. You went after Steph and the award, and you went after Steve Kerr and his Coach of the Year award. And again, big picture for me, Stephen A., King James is not ready to buy into the crowning of Steph Curry as the best player on the planet, nor is he willing to pay even an ounce of respect to what Golden State has earned so far, which is obviously 1 championship against a LeBron team without Kevin Love, as we know, and without Kyrie after Game 1 of the NBA Finals. So, to me, this is a new guy. I'm intrigued by this guy. I love it for our sake that it's great build-up, pre-finals hype for us. But again, this Golden State team is not to be trifled with, especially Steph Curry. And I think LeBron, in this case, is biting off more than he should be able to chew.
I think you're being utterly ridiculous on this matter, to be quite honest with you. Let me start out saying that. And the reason I feel that way is because you're acting as if somehow, some way, the Golden State Warriors are going to have mercy upon LeBron James. If somehow, some way he speaks glowingly about them, respectfully about them, that he doesn't do anything to agitate them or whatever the case may be. These are the NBA Finals. There is a championship on the line. And if there is a team that is merciless when it comes to the opposition, it is the Golden State Warriors. When they get going, they get going. And when they hit you with haymakers via three-pointers, of course. This is just what they do. And so they're not going to have any mercy upon LeBron James because he speaks eloquently and he says the right things and he goes about doing things the right way and all of this other stuff. Not to mention the fact, four-time league MVP, two-time NBA champion, somebody that basically by himself with little to no help to speak of still averaged 35, 13, and I think 7 in the finals last year and managed to win 2 games against this team. And so it's one of those situations where not only did you have to live with the specter of not having a Kevin Love, not having a Kyrie Irving, being undermanned against this juggernaut from last year, but they come into this season, not only do they blow you out on your home court, but in the midst of their terrific season at 73-9, an all-time record, all we've been hearing about all year long are the Golden State Warriors, how lethal they are, and what they do to one opposition after another. If you're LeBron James and you've got any kind of metal inside of you, you're going to get tired of hearing that. So you talk about trifling with somebody or messing with somebody or whatever the case may be. I'm sorry, when you're the opposition, you're supposed to be willing to do anything. If you're as great as LeBron James has been, you're certainly supposed to display something that says you ain't backing down to a damn soul. They're coming, well, here you come too. Let's get it on. That's what it's all about. I know you said you like that, and I respect that part, but at the same time, it's like this notion that we've got to worry about what we say about people or whatever the case may be. I think that's applicable to coaches when it comes to talking about opposing players because, again, you don't have to go on the court and play against them. So if you're, for example, like Jeff Van Gundy back in his days when he was coaching the Knicks, to mess with Michael Jordan, well, then that's a little bit different because you're not on the court to do anything about it. But if you are a player, particularly a superstar elite player, the likes of LeBron James, and you want to talk, well, you talk away. You talk all you want to talk because you're the one that's going to be on the court in a position to back it up as opposed to hoping that somebody else does it for you. So I really don't have any problem with it. It doesn't bother me at all. I like it. It makes me elevate my level of confidence in LeBron James. Maybe not to the point where I'm going to pick them. I haven't decided that yet. We'll find out tomorrow. But nevertheless, it's one of those situations where I want to see this from champions. And I want to see this from championship contenders. I say it all the time, quoting my man, the nature boy, Ric Flair. To be the man, you've got to beat the man. Golden State, they're the men right now. Cleveland is coming. I have no problem with it whatsoever. I welcome it. That kind of banter and chatter, whatever the case. And in terms of talking, saying this stupidity, in terms of prognosticators, well, he's supposed to feel that way. But obviously, it's a very, very big deal because prognosticating is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is gambling, okay? And so then you have, whether it's literally gambling, it's fantasy football and basketball, it's a host of other different things. The bottom line is it's a moneymaker. He needs to get over that, but I don't blame him for feeling the way that he feels, just like I don't blame any other player for feeling the way that they feel because we're not the ones that have to go out there and perform. They are. And if you're predicting somebody's going to lose, and somebody's not the favorite, and somebody can't win, and I'm the guy that's got to go out there and perform, and you're predicting that I'm going to lose, I got a problem with you, too. I'd call you an idiot myself, meaning any of us, not you, but any of us.
Okay. I think you're misapplying the Ric Flair line here. To be the man, you have to beat the man. LeBron is saying they ain't the man. I'm still the man. We are still the man. He's saying...
Well, I think he's saying him instead of we.
Okay, that's fine. I'll give you that. Okay, but my point to you is, my question to you, do you think Golden State deserves to be favored, even by a little here? Yes. I mean, anybody in their right basketball mind would say, yeah, Golden State deserves to be favored by whatever. what are they, a 5.5-point favorite tomorrow night in Game 1, whatever it is for the series. Okay, you could say they're almost a prohibitive favorite in the eyes of many, including BPI, but whatever. They are favored, and they deserve to be, except LeBron James, the leader of the underdog team, is saying that's stupidity to favor them, and he's been relentless in paying them no respect for what they've achieved individually as an MVP and a Coach of the Year, or collectively as a team. He's paying them no respect. Again, I haven't seen this LeBron before. Maybe you have, but I don't remember him certainly, against my Spurs going into those things. He would just wax eloquent about his respect for the Spurs.
Stop. Here's the difference. You can't use that as an analogy, and here is why. Because even though the Spurs were an elite team, they're quiet, and they quietly go about the business of just doing them. And they display profound respect for the competition. They're never dismissive of anyone. But more importantly than that, and you are the absolute most qualified person in all of media to validate the point I'm about to make. No matter how great the Spurs are, they are underappreciated until you have no choice but to appreciate them. The Spurs the Spurs are an afterthought until they're literally in your face, and you have to deal with them. No one on the planet, not even the Spurs, complain about that reality more than Skip Bayless. So if you are LeBron or anybody else, that's entirely different. Of course you show them the respect because you too recognize that they're not rewarded and celebrated nearly as much as they should be. In the case of Golden State, even though they're the champions, you got to understand why somebody like LeBron will look at them and say, well, wait a minute. They deserve props, but my God, look at how y'all just gloss all over them.
I mean, I agree.
It's ridiculous because think about it. What you said yesterday, you pulled out a tweet in the immediate aftermath of Golden State winning the finals, and you pointed out your tweet about how they were the most opportunistic and, all of this other stuff because of the thing. Fortuitous. Fortuitous is the word you use. You talked about Mike Conley Jr. being hurt. You talked about Kyrie Irving being hurt in the finals along with Kevin Love. You talked about, all of this stuff. I'm saying to you, well, that's what LeBron remembers too. LeBron remembers how fortuitous their run was last year, especially against himself. So the fact that they've been celebrated to the degree that they have been celebrated, having not won the title yet, he has every right to feel that way. He just has to do something about it now that he's in this position. But I don't blame him for his stance.
Okay, I got it. Now let me flip it around quickly and look at this from the Warriors' perspective, especially Steph Curry's perspective. I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but he has a little Michael in him. He takes these things very personally, these slights. That's why I read the tweet in his response to me a year ago. And I'm going to say it again. You vehemently disagreed with me. I thought a psychological turning point in the previous series, the Western Conference Finals, was when Russell Westbrook stifled laughter at a question about Steph's defense. I just think that's the kind of thing that will infuriate and motivate Steph Curry off the charts. He's going to get even with you for that kind of a public slight. And I believe he's taking these shots from LeBron pretty personally. I'm not sure that's smart going into the finals. Maybe, again, if you can back it up, you can back it up. Now it's time to go play. And maybe LeBron thinks he can back it up. And maybe he thinks his co-stars are prepared, that they've grown enough and they're healthy enough to back it up. They've shown that they are clicking at the highest level you can click at in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Now let's see what happens against the champs from the West. Now it starts. LeBron's season starts right now, to me.
The season starts right there with you. That's fair enough, Skip. I don't have a problem with that, man, because we know we knew all along he was going to cakewalk through the Eastern Conference Finals. You damn right the season starts with him, and he better show up and produce. Fair enough. But let's stop with the nonsense about Steph Curry. First of all, when Westbrook was laughing, even though the question wasn't directed at him, it was about Steph Curry's defense, not his offense. We all know that Steph Curry is a lethal missile marksman, a sniper, the reigning two-time league MVP, and unquestionably the best offensive player in the game right now. I ask a question. Did the Oklahoma City Thunder talk smack about Steph Curry when Steph Curry dropped 46 on them in the regular season? Did the New Orleans Pelicans talk smack about Steph Curry when Steph Curry dropped 51 on them? Did the Clippers talk smack about him when he dropped 40 on them? There's been plenty. What about the Washington Wizards? And he dropped, I think it was 51 on them. Yep. Did they talk smack about him when he had spent the day early at the White House, okay, chilling with President Obama? No. Steph Curry doesn't need to be antagonized. He's merciless anyway. You could be the nicest guy. You can sing, you can hug him and sing Kumbaya to him. You can give him a massage, a pedicure, a manicure. You can do whatever the hell you want with Steph Curry. It ain't going to stop him from raining threes on you. He going to do it all day long, every chance he gets. So it doesn't make a difference. It's not about what Russell Westbrook laughed at. It's not about what LeBron James is saying. It's not about what Steph Curry's going to do Steph Curry. Watch his daddy when his daddy was playing. One of the nicest guys in the world. By the way, all the opponents loved and respected him. It didn't stop him from raining threes on them. Michael Jordan manufactured 90% of the controversies that he was involved in because he was looking for an excuse to motivate himself. So he literally lied about the controversies that made headlines to inspire him or whatever, to keep himself motivated because the competition itself wasn't motivating enough because he knew what he could do to him. I mean, this is what it was.
All right,
so
last
it's like,
question.
Stop with the nonsense.
Okay, last question. If you were Steph Curry right now, would you even be slightly offended by how LeBron is dismissing you as the favorite? Did it stupid to call you the favorite?
Not at all, because I wouldn't take it as LeBron dismissing me. I would take it as LeBron recognizing that LeBron believes in LeBron, and he's coming. I would anticipate that he's going to come and that I better be ready to do something about it. I don't think Steph Curry's thinking about it at all. I don't think it's something that he's taking personal at all, because I don't recall LeBron James taking a personal swipe at him yesterday or whenever it was. I don't see that.
I do.
But it doesn't matter.
I do. We'll see.
But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's the finals. Steph Curry is coming to annihilate him. And LeBron had better be ready to answer and do something about it, or he's going to get smoked. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to get smoked. Because it doesn't matter what they don't. It doesn't matter what they say or what they don't say. Golden State will have no mercy. They will bury you if you let them. You better be prepared to do something about it.
Okay, I got it. But it sounds to me like LeBron thinks he's coming to annihilate Steph. That's how it's coming across.
What's he supposed to think?
Okay, good. Here we go. Bring it on.
How is that a problem? How is that a problem?
I just don't think it's smart. These guys, they only won 73 games.
Please.
That's all.
Why am I even talking to you about this?
Know.
You're the same guy. You're the same guy that would have somebody kidnapped if it could lead to a Spurs victory. I mean, why am I even talking to you about this stuff?
Yeah,
why even waste my time?
That's not true. My guys always get hurt before the biggest games.
Oh, please.
You'll
sit up there. If you could sit there and untie somebody's shoelaces and have them twist their ankles so the Spurs could win, you'd do it. If somebody could mess with their food and make them sick before a game against the Spurs, you would do it. I mean, why am I talking to you about this?
I'm still convinced that you got to the referees before Game 5 of the Spurs-Thunder series, because those two calls cost me a championship in the last minute of that game. Those two non-calls.
No, you know what cost you a championship? Age and LaMarcus Aldridge. That's what cost you a championship. Age and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Next question.
Thank you.
Steph on LeBron saying he's been to the final 6 times. I won't be thinking about that on the court, but afterwards you can appreciate the star power and the level of basketball it is. Let's give LeBron credit on this. He's been to 6 straight finals, as Steph just said.